I'm from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Godler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Tonight, large Chinese dump trucks to be banned from Fiji roads. Lack of proper drinking water forces villagers out of Vikombia. And an application to disqualify judge in Vilikesa Soko trial dismissed. Large Chinese-made trucks used to cart gravel, sand and other materials will be banned in a year. The announcement comes as the Fiji Roads Authority signs a memorandum of understanding with truckers and the Land Transport Authority. Edwin Nunn reports the MOU is expected to ease overloading on the roads.
Dump trucks like these won't be allowed on Fiji roads 12 months from now.
Those particular trucks, as an example, are heavy-duty off-road vehicles. They are designed for use in mine sites and off-road conditions. They're never designed for use on roads.
They were originally brought in for road construction. It was at the end of those work contracts that they were then sold into becoming general purpose vehicles.
Trucking companies will have to reduce the size of the bin and the payload or pay fines and have the vehicles deregistered. The Road Haulage Association of Fiji is on board with the plan, saying adjustments to the law will make it easier for truckers.
There is something that you can work from, because purchasing from overseas is money up front for all these operators, and they don't earn $1 million from this transportation, but they need to survive.
Truck owners will be given the opportunity to, as you mentioned about the refleeting, there'll be a great opportunity for the truck owners to if possible, change their trucks.
Weighbridges like this one outside Lami will now be manned on a 24-hour basis by the Land Transport Authority. This is to ensure that truckers don't try and evade the authorities by operating at night. Those who are caught will face hefty fines. Under the MOU, road haulers commit to keeping within legal load limits. Operators are also being encouraged to refleet or buy new trucks which comply with Fiji's laws. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
And Edwin is on standby now to tell us more. Edwin, why is this being done?
Jackie, it's because of damage to the road. The Fiji Roads Authority has complained for a long time that most of the damage caused to the roads, old and new, is because of overloading by these large trucks. We're not just talking about trucks carrying gravel and sand. We're also referring to container trucks, trucks carrying manufacturing items and even consumer goods. But on the flip side, the Fiji Road Haulage Association is complaining that they are adhering to the weight limitations which is prescribed for their specific vehicles. When they buy these trucks, they are given a weight limit which the manufacturers have prescribed. However, there is a lack of synergy between Fiji's laws and the limitations provided by the vehicle manufacturers. So the MOU makes a commitment that there will be legal changes to bring these in line, to align Fiji's laws with those prescriptions for weight limitations on very specific trucks. I should also mention that the MOU specifically lists the Fiji Ports Corporation, which means that the agreement applies mostly to container trucks, companies which haul containers bringing in imported items and which are taken off at the wharf and transported via road to other parts of the country. How this will affect other smaller businesses, independent operators and companies which haul gravel and sand, what have you, that remains to be seen. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Edwin. The lack of proper drinking water is a common topic among people in northern maritime communities. Eleanor View reports at Vikumbia Island, the water crisis has left many villages almost deserted, with thousands more without clean and safe drinking water.
For years, this small maritime community has been relying on underground water.
It's really bad here. Even at school, we almost have no water. Whatever water is left in the tank will not last until the end of the term.
The prolonged drought hasn't helped either, with boreholes and wells drying up.
2 weeks ago, we found a new water source. A few of the boreholes have dried up, so we are now using the spring to source water for drinking and cooking.
Vikumbia is well known for its coconut crabs and fish. While the villagers have food, there is no water to cook it in.
Most times we cook our food in the lovo or smoke it, as there is not enough water. Sometimes we use seawater because whatever water we have left is for drinking.
Less than 100 people now live in the 4 villages on the island of Vikumbia, seen here behind me. According to villagers who now reside here, most of these people have now moved to mainland Vitilevu or Bunolevu, mainly because of the difficulties or the challenges they face here. One of the main reasons is the lack of clean and safe drinking water.
It's an issue that we will need to address, but we need a policy to guide us in the type of water system that they will need in the area.
Vikumbia Island is situated a little over 100 kilometers off Vanuatu, and it takes at least 6 hours of boat time to get there. Eleanor Turangaiweo, FBC News.
A recent statement by Save the Children Fiji CEO Iris Lowe Mackenzie that Fiji isn't a safe place for children has been refuted by Attorney General Ayusaid Qayyum. Lowe Mackenzie made the statement during his speech at a children's forum in Suva and again during an interview with FBC News. Sanyani Boiler reports.
We have failed the children of Fiji.
Referring to recent media reports on the abuse of children, the Save the Children Fiji chief executive reiterated that children were not safe in Fiji.
Fiji is definitely not a safe space for children. If you hear from the media, every day we hear acts of violence against children. Children are being raped, children are being physically abused.
Iris Lowe Mackenzie even had examples to back up her statement.
There were recent incidences of children going to a library and being in a children's corner and being sexually abused. So definitely Fiji is not safe.
In his response, Attorney General Ayusaid Qayyum acknowledged the media reports but refuted the statement by Lowe Mackenzie.
Obviously to say that no children in Fiji is safe is not true. There are many children who are safe in Fiji. This is of course not to detract from the fact that some children have been abused, and we must as a nation ensure that that abuse is reduced and completely eliminated.
FBC News also took to the streets to see what the public thought.
I believe we have the necessary legislations in Fiji.
I do not agree with the statement because we in Fiji are way better than other countries.
I disagree. Fiji is a good place for the children. I brought up in Fiji and my kids are good in Fiji.
The Attorney General adds the statement by Lowe Mackenzie is an over-exaggeration and that the government has put in place a child welfare decree to ensure violence against children is eliminated. Sanyani Mboila, ABC News.
The judge in the rape and assault case of Vilikesa Soko today dismissed an application made by the defense that he should recuse himself from the case on the ground of actual bias. Judge Aruna Althuje made the ruling after the defense lawyer Iqbal Khan made an application this morning that he be disqualified. Ellen Stahls reports.
Defense lawyer Iqbal Khan's allegations of actual bias was heard by the court and then dismissed by the judge, saying they had to proceed with the trial. Both the prosecution and the defense delivered their closing submissions this morning in the presence of the 4 assessors. State prosecutor lawyer Bernie Lee reminded assessors that the case is a very disturbing one that involves senior members of the police force and that they should look at the facts of the case. He told the court that there were no doubt that the 2 suspects, deceased Vilikesa Soko and Senjani Mboila, were assaulted and raped at a hillside in Malevu, and that all 9 accused were present at the scene. Lee added that there was evidence that Superintendent of Police Manasa Talala was present at the scene but did not do anything to try and stop the crime from happening. In his submission, defense lawyer Iqbal Khan asked the assessors to consider the evidence that Mboila gave when he was called as a witness, where he said under oath that none of the 9 accused hurt him or Soko. Khan also reminded the assessors that some witnesses called by the prosecution had admitted to making false statements, and some made more than 3 statements to police, inferring that they were coached to do so. The case continues on Friday at the Lautoka High Court. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
A 32-year-old man convicted for the death of his partner in their flat in Turak, Suva last year will be sentenced tomorrow. Usai Kilaiverata has been convicted of 1 count of murder. Defense counsel informed the court that the defense will be relying on their sentencing submission and mitigation, which was filed today. In this submission, the defense has said that Kilaiverata was under the influence of liquor, and he showed remorse as well. State lawyer Rajneel Kumar told the court that intoxication should not be regarded as a mitigating factor. Kilaiverata will be sentenced at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum will meet with hardware companies tomorrow due to concerns over the delivery of materials under the Help for Homes initiative. Said Qayyum says they are aware of a shortage in supply, but he's been talking directly to the suppliers to see which ones are performing and which ones aren't.
We hope to have the agreement sorted out by the end of this week, and then the second tranche of people will go on. Second tranche, the Ministry of Women and Poverty Alleviation will go out into the field. In particular, well, they will go out to the red zone where people have been left out.
Coming up on FBC News, FMPF reforms had to happen. And infected cattle blamed for drop in local dairy products. Stay with us.
Daw binakabiyaw na ba ang Bula FM. Niron daw bingkarabi o beni lopo viroro ozo. Na Bula FM naman doon na sir.
Yung Bula bina ang mga peli untuk talitin na parang Bula FM na po.
Nambang doon din nga ng Bula FM no sir. Bula FM nambang doon sir.
Bula siya puni ba ulambasa na ko bila merikibi Bula FM nambang doon sir. Talita itu nga lambas.
Bula FM nambang 2 sir.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The major reforms of the Fiji National Provident Fund was necessary to safeguard the funds of its members, says Economy Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum. He made the statement while opening a forum on strengthening pension and health coverage in the Pacific today. Ana Ravulo has the report.
The Attorney General told those present that the FNPF was headed for disaster and that the reforms had to happen.
The annuity conversion factor for single annuities at 55 years of age was set initially at a very high rate of 25%. So essentially what they are saying, that by 2056, we would have had insufficient funds to pay out all the benefits that are due.
Said Qayyum reiterated that discussions during the forum had to find ways to safeguard superannuation funds for members in the Pacific.
The aim of this two-day forum is to improve our awareness of the challenges facing pension systems in the Pacific and to collectively discuss options for meeting these challenges.
The Minister for Economy says it is vital to have forums such as this, as Fiji has a very large population in the younger bracket and nearly 70% of our population are below the age of 40. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
Social Democratic Liberal Party leader Sitiveni Rambuka has clarified that they intend to discuss cooperation with other political parties and not form a coalition. In an exclusive interview with FBC News, Rambuka said SODELPA was hoping to have talks with the National Federation Party and the Fiji Labour Party on the issue. Rachel Nath has more.
SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka says at the moment he has had person-to-person discussion with NFP and FLP.
We cannot talk coalition because we have not worked out the mechanics of coalition. but we have I have been given the approval to go and talk about cooperation.
NFP leader Biman Prasad says they are open for discussions with all parties on pressing issues.
Any talk of coalition or cooperation will come after, or can come after, these issues are discussed. So for me, the most important issues that I want to discuss with every political party, including the government, is the removal of some of these draconian decrees and restrictions.
FLP leader Mahendra Chaudhry refused to give FBC News a comment. Meanwhile, Rambuka has indicated that through corporations, coalitions can be formed, and he is not completely ruling out the possibility.
Whether cooperation is a coalition, or an agreement, or an understanding, that will have to be worked out by the different party leadership.
However, the 2014 electoral decree states that no party can form a coalition. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Infected cattle are a major cause of the current drop in locally produced dairy goods, says Agriculture Ministry Permanent Secretary Jitendra Singh. At the moment, 80% of the dairy products are imported to meet the local demand. Sainyani Boila has more.
The Agriculture Ministry is currently working with its New Zealand counterparts to introduce breeds of animals that are climate resilient to boost local dairy production. In the meantime, drastic measures have had to be taken to ensure that disease do not spread.
In the dairy industry, we have some disease issues right now, as the director has explained, with tuberculosis and brucellosis. So this is affecting the growth of the industry because we are forced to remove infected animals and take them to slaughterhouses.
Director Animal Tomasi Tunubuna says the ministry has also prepared a strategy where different stakeholders will find ways to address the issue.
In 3 weeks, we will be having a national forum to discuss the strategy for both TB and Bruce. We will identify areas in which we can best address this reduction in numbers of cattle.
Tunubuna adds land availability is also a challenge in the industry. The dairy industry produces only 20% of dairy products each year. Sainyani Mboila, FBC News.
The first state witness in the case of Moses Mbulitavo and Jagath Karunaratne revealed in court today that he was told that his involvement in writing seditious comments will bring democracy to the country. Usai Koroi is the state's first of 27 witnesses who were cross-examined by defense lawyers today. Shireen Shivan files this report.
During his cross-examination this morning, Usaya Koroi told the court that he was unhappy with the military government back in 2011. He says he was frustrated at a number of things, including their actions against the Vanua and their way of dealing with Itoke land. Koroi, while working for Worker Films in Rewanga, has spray-painted billboards and bus stops in Osori with his company's employees, including operations manager Eparama Rokotakala and Eroni Takape. Koroi admitted that he himself accepted to write seditious comments in public places because Rokotakala told him that this will bring democracy in Fiji. He further added that he did not write anything about the head of state or the government, but his comments were directed to only 2 individuals. He told the court that he wrote seditious comments such as PM out, AG out. He said they wrote at 4 different sites when they went in Karunaratne's vehicle, and Bulitavu was also present. Defense lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh asked Koroi who gave him the instruction to spread seditious words, to which he replied it was his operations manager's directive. Koroi agreed that while writing seditious comments in public places in Nandera, Samambula, Gaji Road and on different buses, he felt like he is finally making a stand against the military-ruled government. The trial continues at the Suva Magistrates Court tomorrow. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Now to sports, here's Jamie with all the very latest.
Nakazaki, and good evening in sports tonight. Fiji nominated in 3 categories for World Rugby Awards. And Afarusiva Kula nets deal with Northern Star. Details after the break.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Recreative Units.
I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandabu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Silipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Fiji Rugby Union has been nominated in 3 categories for the 2016 World Rugby Awards. This is the first time Fiji has been nominated in more than one category. Rohit Deo with the story.
Been asked to submit nominations in, I think we submitted nominations in 5 categories. And we are happy that 3 have been considered and are now in the running. We had made nominations, but none of our nominations. Semi Konatani was the nominee for Player of the 7th Player of the Year. Fortunately, he missed out. But I think, and the emphasis last year was on World Rugby because the World Rugby 15th. But I think this year our team has proved itself.
I think it's a good time for Fiji now. We've know that Ben Ryan and Osea Kulinisau have been nominated for the Player of the Year and the Coach of the Year. I hope they'll win it for us, for Fiji, all the Fijians this year.
It's very good. I'm proud of the boys. Thank you very much.
This is a blast of Fiji rugby to the near future. That taking the big name like Osea Kulinisau and who's this guy here, Ben Ryan, being nominated. This is a big thing for Fiji rugby in the near future.
The Vodafone Flying Fijians will camp in France for 3 days before its professional players return for club commitments over the weekend. The Regulation 9 camp is the window that World Rugby assigns for national teams to have access to its players plying their trade with professional clubs in their various adopted unions. The team is scheduled to have an opposed session against Georgia tomorrow.
Because we had talked to the coaches and the players prior to leaving, we've set goals for them. I think that is motivation enough. The 7th team are doing quite well, and the challenge is for I know the 15 teams have done quite well in the World Cup last year, but we need to be consistent in terms of performance at that high level.
Fiji takes on the World Barbarians at 8:30 a.m. Saturday week in London. With just 3 more days to go before they clash with Papua New Guinea in front of their home crowd at the ANZ Stadium in Suva, the Fijiana 15 side is more than ready to stamp its mark. Saturday's game is important for both sides as they try to qualify for the Asia-Oceania Rugby Championship in Hong Kong. Meli Tavanga reports.
With the basics pretty much wrapped up, Coach Serma Yambai believes this is a game that every rugby-loving person in the country shouldn't miss.
The ladies know the task in hand and what this game means to us is to qualify, which is one of our short-term goals. So we keep them in mind.
Bai says they're keeping their game plan simple.
We now set pieces in terms of our lineups and scrums. We do a lot of learnings for the girls to own their role and know their roles. And then we're not taking the game away from our flares and our speed.
Fijiana blindside flanker Merimoto summed up the team's excitement about playing at home.
We are looking forward to it. It's a big game. Like I said earlier, it's history. This is our first ever 15th Test match in Fiji. It's a lot of people are going to be watching. It is a definite game not to miss. So I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to come and watch the game. So please come out in numbers. Come and support the girls.
Playing at home with a large crowd anticipated to cheer them on, the game shouldn't be a walk in the park. But the Fijiana side know too well what awaits them, as PNG will also be hungry for a win to promote them towards the qualifiers in Hong Kong. Meli Tavang, FBC Sports.
Taranaki winger Manasa Mataele is one of 3 Fijians named in the Crusaders squad for the 2017 season. Fiji Pearls goal shooter Afa Siruvakula has been signed by the Northern Star Netball Club in New Zealand to play in the next Super League series next year.
I'm really excited to join the new club in New Zealand.
opening the doors for the other netballers who are here in Fiji. We'll be playing really well for Fiji.
That was sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Towards the South Pacific Stock Exchange this week, the trading shares for Amalgamated Telecom Holdings Limited picked up this week by 2 cents to conclude the week at $1.21. Paradise Beverages Fiji Limited was up as well by 5 cents to settle at $12.01, while the Rice Company of Fiji Limited also registered an increase of 1 cent to end the week at $3.75. Meanwhile, there were no losses on the share trades for last week. Conditions were sunny and warm throughout the country today. Looking at the temperatures, Lambasa and Ba were the warmest at 32 degrees, while Lautoka trailed at 31, leaving Suva and Savu the coolest at 29 degrees. For tomorrow, few showers are expected in most places. Best to keep that umbrella handy. Further outlook, we're looking on to Friday. Sunny periods are likely to continue with brief showers. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight, large Chinese dump trucks to be banned from Fiji roads. Lack of proper drinking water forces villagers out of Vikombia. An application to disqualify judge in Vilikesa Soko trial dismissed. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to our poll question this week, we are asking, is Gareth Baber the right choice for Sevens coach? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.